Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün Cape Breton University ile Kanada'nın en güzel bölgesinde akademik programlar ve kaliteli eğitim fırsatını Victor'dan dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı questions kısmından sormayı unutmayın. Yes, Victor, the stage is yours now.
Thank you very much, Zeynep. Thank you for all attending. My name, as she said, is Victor Tomacek. I am the manager of international recruitment here at Cape Breton University, and I am very thankful for your time this afternoon. I hope you're having a wonderful day where you are. It's sunny and bright in Cape Breton today. It's 10 a.m. in the morning, and we can just go right into the presentation if that's okay with you. Just allow me to share my screen. So I hope you can see that okay. Again, this is Cape Breton University, and let us begin by showing this little introductory video to give you a sense of where we are and what we're like.
Tradition. It lives in us on this island. It grows as we grow. It changes as we change, adapts, and perseveres. Tradition has heart and the courage to explore new paths. It stretches beyond our shores and creates a united Nimagi for us all. Here at Cape Breton University, tradition never stands still. Ours is a tradition of possibility, inspiring us to become the leaders of tomorrow, creating a world we can be proud of. Ours is a tradition of new, and everyone is welcome. It lives in us.
Sorry about that. I hope you enjoyed that short little video. So I want to introduce you first to our beautiful island, Cape Breton. Cape Breton has been named for the 4th year in a row by Travel and Leisure magazine, a global trade body magazine, as Canada's most beautiful island. So we're located on the east coast of Canada in the province of Nova Scotia, right along the Atlantic Ocean. This is an international tourist destination. On average, Nova Scotia is the warmest province in the country. Now, that's not to say that it isn't not cold in the winter and, temperate in the fall, but we have experienced the 4 seasons. We have a warm summer, we have cold winters, so you really experience the true 4-season Canadian climate. We are a small island of about 130,000 people, so it's not a big city. It's not Toronto. It's not Vancouver. It's an incredibly beautiful place, small city of about 100,000 people. Sydney, which is where Cape Breton University is located, but we have a rich, full, inviting culture, beautiful landscape, clean air, no traffic, and it's a great place to take your education, raise a family, and basically live. I grew up here, left for a while, came back home, and I couldn't be happier living in Cape Breton. And of course, we can't talk about anything anymore without mentioning COVID-19. Nova Scotia is one of the safest places in Canada. Active cases right now is 162. There's only 6 in the hospital, none in emergency care. Only 18 new cases yesterday. Our population is almost 75% fully vaccinated. And as of October 5th, we are slated to remove all of the current public health protocols, which includes social distancing, wearing masks in public, large gatherings. But things have basically been returned to, normal, as so much as we can have normal again. But we would love to welcome you to our province and our great university. Cape Breton University is a small university experience. We're about 5,000 full-time students. We just dipped a bit below 5,000 because of the, continuing barriers to international travel, because over half of our students are international students from over 50 countries, including a few Turkish students. Of course, there are major cohorts, like most Canadian universities are, Indian, Chinese, and African continent students. But of course, students from all over the world come to CBU for that great experience, small classrooms. You get a very personal approach from the faculty here. By your second year, many of your faculty will know your name. You'll be able to consult with them directly and not have to go through teaching assistants. We have a per capita largest investment in student services, which we'll go through a bit further, but that includes free tutoring, a writing center, supports for students with disabilities, international student advisors who are all registered immigration consultants. And we have been highly ranked for these reasons in student satisfaction, teaching experience, and overall educational experience. Cape Breton University is primarily an undergraduate degree granting institution, but we do also have a fast track bachelor degrees. Say if you have an engineering credential or diploma or degree from Turkey, you can then join our engineering technology program and complete the program in as little as 2 years. We also have post-baccalaureate options in business and health, where you can do a 2-year post-baccalaureate diploma, which also includes an internship or capstone project in your last semester. We accept transfer credits up to 50% of any of our CBU programs. And we also have a master's degree in business focused on community economic development. So we have 4 schools at CBU, and we just added a new school of nursing, but the school, Shannon School of Business, School of Science and Technology, Arts and Social Sciences, and School of Education and Health. And if you want to come visit me in the building Arts and Social Sciences, you'll find my office upstairs as well. So when you do arrive, you'll have to come and say hello to me. So I'll just go through some program highlights in each of the school. Now we have over 60 different program options, but I'll just highlight kind of the most popular programs across our schools. So in the School of Science and Technology, we are the Bachelor of Engineering Technology. So we offer this as a 3-year degree, 4-year advanced degree, or a fast-track bachelor degree if you already have a diploma or degree from Turkey or another jurisdiction. This is offered in 4 distinct concentrations: electronics and controls, petroleum, environmental studies, and chemical. The engineering technology program is more of an applied tech engineering rather than the traditional theoretical engineering. So this has concentrated in a lot of experiential learning, laboratories on our campus where you will be trained to work with the tools involved in the engineering field across these 4 disciplines. We also have a global partnership with ExxonMobil, who annually sends group of workers to get educated and trained at CBU to then go back to their home country to continue working in the profession. Most recently, we had a group of 25 workers from Guyana trained at our facilities under the direction of our faculty and ExxonMobil to then continue to work in the industry upon completion of the program. We also have the Bachelor of Engineering Transfer Program. This is more the theoretical engineering. So this is a 4-year degree where you spend your first 2 years at CBU and complete an engineering diploma. And then you complete your final 2 years at our partner university in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Dalhousie. And I mean, these are offered in all the engineering disciplines, civil, chemical, environmental, and so on. And we also have a Bachelor of Science degree with majors in biology, psychology, chemistry, and mathematics. And in all of these programs, there is an opportunity to engage in research at the undergraduate level. CBU has a Verschuren Center of Environment and Research on our campus, where there is a lot of private research partners researching wastewater remediation, cancer research, different environmental theories and product creation. And there are opportunities for our undergraduate students to get real hands-on experiential learning and potential paid internships in their undergraduate learning in the Bachelor of Science as well. In our Shannon School of Business, of course, we have a BBA, Bachelor of Business Administration, Marketing, Supply Chain Management, Accounting degrees. And you can also do concentrations in finance, economics, legal studies, and others. There are also co-op opportunities available in the BBA, particularly in accounting. Many students have done a co-op with local accounting firms, and then they can go on after the bachelor to go for the Chartered Professional Accountant designation and become a certified accountant in Canada. We also have our Bachelor of Hospitality and Tourism Management. This is a great marquee program for CBU, whereas I mentioned before, we are an international tourist destination, so we have many hotels, resorts, especially golfing destinations. But this degree is 3 years, but also includes 2 required paid internships. So you spend a lot of your degree learning, the culinary skills, serving, to managing a hotel or a resort or a restaurant, and then getting placed with our work placement officers in a resort hotel of your choosing, either in Cape Breton or across Canada, or even internationally, to do paid required internships that also count as university credit towards your degree. We are a training academy for IHG Group, which is the Intercontinental Hotel Group. So they include brands worldwide, such as Intercontinental Hotels, Crown Plazas, Holiday Inns, and others. And many students can begin their careers post-graduation at one of these globally if they so prefer, because we cannot guarantee a job upon graduation. We can guarantee you can at least be interviewed at one of those partners. Also in the Shannon School of Business are our post-baccalaureate diplomas. So if you have a bachelor degree from your home country, Turkey or elsewhere, with a B average or 70% average Canadian equivalent, you can take our 2-year programs in supply chain management, business analytics, or healthcare management. These are 2-year 12-course diploma degrees where the final term is either an internship with a private business partner or a research project. These have been incredibly popular post-baccalaureate diplomas for international students who already have some post-secondary degrees completed. And as well, we have our MBA in Community Economic Development. This is a unique MBA in North America because it puts community at its core. When I moved back home, I took this MBA, and so I speak from experience when I talk about the quality of programming here. They're small class sizes, very international. You can study everything about social enterprises, cooperatives, to international business relations. It's really up to you as to where you want your research to be concentrated. And as well, they also have an applied research project in your final year that allows you to really hone in on your interests in business. Now, it's also noted you do not have to have a business background to go into the MBA. Particularly, many MBAs look for actually students with a social science background. You learn the critical thinking skills necessary to be able to succeed in the business world. And of course, as mentioned earlier, there are co-op opportunities and internships throughout most programs. The School of Arts and Social Sciences, I also have a degree in the Bachelor of Arts from CBU in political science, which is very good for people who want to go into communication, into law, into public administration. There are many, many different majors you can go through the Bachelor of Arts, a very highly recommended degree. There's also a diploma in public administration and management, which focuses on public policy in Canada. So students that maybe want to work in Canadian government or alongside or to lobby Canadian government, it gives you an opportunity to really learn how the government and bureaucracy works in Canada, which may not sound interesting on the outset, but it actually is quite fascinating to learn how things get done in a country like Canada. And the Bachelor of Arts Community Studies is actually the first degree CBU ever had been certified to provide back in 1974. We have majors such as sports physical activity leadership, music and applied theater. The physical activity leadership is great for students with an interest in sport, but an interest in teaching sport or being an agent within sport or getting involved in community sport. And there's internships required in all of these programs as well. And it can be combined with a BBA. So you can basically do a 4-year bachelor degree at CBU and get 2 designations, credentials. And Bachelor of Arts and Science in the Environment, this cross-disciplinary degree between both the hard sciences and soft sciences in the social sciences to really give students an idea of how to work in the emerging green economy, to go into the science with a conscience and how to work within the parameters of the globe in a healthy way, in a way to improve the earth while also pursuing a career in the sciences. The School of Education and Health, we have the Bachelor of Health Sciences Public Health. This is offered as a 4-year degree or a 2-year post-degree bachelor with the fast track if you already have a related science degree. So this focuses on environmental health like food safety, air safety, communicable diseases, occupational health and safety. We're actually one of only 5 public health degree programs in Canada. And we score consistently high among the government certification exams when our students write them post-graduation. And now a new program to announce. This is the first cohort where I get to announce this for September 2022 is our Post-Baccalaureate Diploma in Occupational Health and Safety Management, which of course, given the reality of the world since 2019, 2020, it's quite high in demand to have the management skills involved with keeping, health and safety in private workplaces or public domains at top of mind for both employers and public sector businesses as well. And of course, scholarships are part of all our programs and schools. Some of the major awards I list there, they are total amount, so 30,000 Canadian, split among the years where you study. It should be noted that the major awards are in competition with all students, including Canadians, so they are quite competitive. But particular to international entrance scholarships, we give them up to $22,500 per students, and we give at least 25 per year, so you don't have to all compete for one big scholarship. You can know that there are many international scholarships. Maybe they're in like a smaller amount, but we give them so many per year that it allows students a better opportunity to get some subsidized form of scholarship when they enter CBU. And couple that with transfer credits or our fast track bachelors, you will be able to access a discount depending on your academics and what type of education you've already had. We really try to make CBU welcoming for all students, regardless of your background. Now, our application is all online, cbu.ca/apply now. We accept scanned copies of your original documents, so you don't have to post anything in the mail. You're looking at about 10 business days, 3 weeks processing time for applications. And we have 3 intakes. The January semester is open for application up until October 15th this year. The September 2022 application is already open. As well, we have a May intake. This is a smaller cohort. There's fewer classes available, but you can also come to Canada in May and come to study at CBU in the springtime. Entrance is about a C average, 65% Canadian equivalent, probably a CC basically in the Turkish system. If you're coming from the secondary school and the 5-point system, you'll want something in at least like a 3.5 to 3.9 range. So it's not, or orta, to probably mispronounce that word. The 10-point range, you want a 5 to, or like a 6.5 to 7 equivalent to enter most of our programs. And of course, the post-baccalaureate diplomas, where you'll need a 70 or like a B average or a 70% Canadian equivalent in your bachelor degree. And we will require your transcripts as well as your degree completion certificate for that. If you are looking for English language training, we do have an exclusive partner on our campus, ICEAP Nova Scotia. So you can apply through ICEAP, get a conditional acceptance to CBU, and then attend their campus, which is a part of our Cape Breton University campus, and upon completion, begin your studies at CBU. Some average tuitions I listed for basically 1-year undergraduate programs is about 18,500 Canadian. Now that's 10 courses or classes, which minimum you must take is 3 per semester. So that is kind of the average tuition for a 4-year degree. For the post-baccalaureate diplomas, that 28,000 Canadian listed is for the entire 2 years, because there's 12 classes completely in the program. You take most of the classes in your first year. So the first year is probably about 16,000 Canadian, and then it's only about 10,000 for your second year. And the MBA for 1 year is about 20,000, so $40,000 Canadian for the entire MBA program. Now, if you list these tuitions in comparison to other universities across Canada, you'll find that CBU is quite competitive, especially with something like UBC in British Columbia or U of T in Toronto. You're looking at about 60,000 Canadian, but you get the advantage here of living in the most beautiful island in the country with an incredibly approachable and friendly local population, international campus, and a comparatively lower cost of living. Of course, there's residence options. I just list some average prices per semester there, but many students actually prefer to live off campus in their community because rents aren't as high as many other jurisdictions in Canada. We do have an off-campus housing site on our website as well. We do encourage students to stay at least one semester on campus if they can, because it really allows you to familiarize yourself with our facilities, and it's a great way to make friends from around the world. And usually then the students will then move into the community in their second semester or second year. So that is pretty much my presentation. So I kept that to about 25 minutes or so that we could have some time to chat. Thank you very much for listening to this, and I'll now scroll through the questions to see if there's anything I can help you with on this side. Okay, I'm not seeing too many questions here, but if anybody has
Hi, Victor. Thank you for your presentation. We have a lot of questions in the questions section.
Oh, I was sorry, I was on the wrong tab there. That's my mistake. I was in chat, not questions. Maritime programs. Unfortunately, sorry, I'm interested in maritime courses. Does your university have maritime programs? We do have a partnership with the Canadian Coast Guard College. But in order to be enrolled in the Coast Guard College, you must actually first be a Canadian citizen, because it is a partnership program between the Canadian government and CBU. So it's not available for international students at this point. For our biology, though, Bachelor of Science in Biology major, it's very much focused on our maritime ecosystem. So you'll be spending a lot of time studying, you know, lakes, streams, rivers that surround Cape Breton. So there is a high focus on maritime biology in that course. And of course, you can contact me, and I can put you in, connect you with some of our faculty as well, if you want to really delve into more courses or classes that are available in that. I'll be interested in following up specifically on that with you as well. Can we transfer undergraduate degree credits from a Turkish university to Cape Breton University? By Julia Toran. And now please excuse me for mispronouncing your names. You'll have to teach me when I come visit Turkey in the future, how to correctly pronounce your names. But yes, you can transfer up to 50% of CBU programs in credits. So if you have a degree from Turkey, or either completed degree or just university credits, when you apply, you can then do a transfer credit assessment, and we, depending on matching course to course programs, we'll be able to offer up to half of our degree in transfer credits. So basically a 4-year degree you could do in 2 years. Ida asks, is campus located in city center? If we prefer to stay in an apartment in city center, can we reach school easily? Yes, well, it's about 10-minute by car away from the city center, but we have a transit system that runs every hour to our campus. So it is very easily accessible from the downtown city center to Cape Breton University. We also operate a bike share program. So if you want, and we have bike paths all connecting our campus to downtown and other communities. That's free. You just do a QR barcode scan, grab a bicycle, and you're on your way. But of course, yes, there's a transit system. And most of our international students actually do live in the surrounding city center or those suburbs and travel to CBU. Is there a chance to get into Cape Breton without an exam? Asks Ahmet. Yeah, we have no entrance exams. So whatever your high school, as long as you have either a high school diploma or if you have any post-secondary education, that's all acceptable to CBU there. So I'm just going to take a drink. Uluk asks, do you have chemistry master's program and scholarships for them? We do not have a master degree in chemistry. We do have a chemical concentration in our engineering technology program or in our Bachelor of Engineering transfer program. And we have a Bachelor of Science with a chemistry major. So there are chemistry pathways you can follow. And the scholarships apply to all programs. So you can apply for a international entrance scholarship for chemistry as well. Yes. Could you also expand fast track degree? What is the basic needs in an academic way? No problem, Recep. Basically, if you have a diploma or a degree from a Turkish institution or elsewhere for engineering technology or public health, you can basically block transfer halfway through that program. So a 3-year degree in engineering technology, you could complete in as little as 18 months. Of course, we do, if you're interested in a postgraduate work permit in Canada, we do recommend you stretch that to 2 years because that allows you more time to access the 3-year postgrad work permit. And for public health, if you have relatable science diploma or degree, this 4-year degree, you will complete then in 2 years. So basically, we're able to offer our degrees in half the time if you have a credential from a Turkish university or a college. Semra asks, do you offer psychology? Yes, we actually offer a psychology major in both the Bachelor of Arts or the Bachelor of Science, depending on which the surrounding credits you want to focus on, like a more a social science approach to psychology or hard science approach. Basic requirements for those undergraduates are a high school diploma with an overall 65% Canadian equivalent average. And of course, our English language requirements as well, which is this IELTS 6.5 overall, no band lower than 6. But we also take TOEFL, Duolingo, and many other tests. Or if you have studied at least 2 years in an institution where English was a primary language of instruction, then you will be able to enter CBU without having to submit an English language test. Tarek asks, do you have master program in cinema department? We do not have a master in cinema. We do have an MBA in community economic development. There aren't really any cinemas concentrated studies. There are specific classes in undergrad. Like I took a cinema course in my BA many years ago, but there's no major in cinema. There is an applied theater major, which basically takes the skills you learn in the theater world, presentation, engaging, interpersonal communication, and able to allow students to apply this to a professional setting. So it may be a degree that could interest you as well, Tarek. And the scholarships, again, they aren't tied to specific programs. So depending on your academics or your financial need, there's bursaries as well. You'll be able to access that funding. Semra asks, how is the living expenses per month to live in Nova Scotia? It varies. you would probably, if you include your rent, if you're going to live off campus, rent, food, transportation, entertainment, you probably want about $1,000 a month comfortably. You could live on less than that, but I wouldn't want you to budget too little. It's better to budget too much and then have money to save. And of course, students are allowed to work up to 20 hours per week while studying their degree. And in scheduled breaks, like in the summer or Christmas, you're allowed to work up to 40 hours per week. Currently, there are many student jobs available in Cape Breton. I think probably really related due to the pandemic and the fact that students had to study online. There are many employment available in like the service industry currently right now, in the tourism industry. But yeah, I would say probably $850 to $900, $1,000 a month will cover everything you need and more. Tarek asked, if I don't get scholarship, are there loan opportunities? The Canadian government will only give loans to Canadian citizens, but there may be funding available through Turkish government. I can't speak to that too much. You'd have to look into that. Can international students have job opportunities in Canada after graduation, particularly petroleum studies? Yes, if you take a program that is at least 2 years in length in Canada, you then can qualify for a post-graduation work permit of up to 3 years. This allows you to work in any province in the country up to 3 years, any profession, of course, including petroleum. Now, if you follow the kind of global petroleum trends, in Canada in particular, we were a global destination for petroleum resource extraction, which of course has really fallen out of the last few years. So the long-term employment in the petroleum industry isn't as high as it was previously in Canada, but it still is one of our major industries, particularly in the Western provinces. So the petroleum engineering technology degree will benefit you in this regard. Siren asks, I'm a biology graduate and a master's degree in medical parasitology. I'm currently doing my PhD in medical parasitology. I am a period of my doctoral thesis. Do you have any scholarships for research and PhD periods? That is very particular, so that I may have to investigate into which of our faculty that are currently doing that, or that type of research, or what research is happening at the Verschuren Center. So I may have to get back to you on that, but just generally there aren't particular scholarships for PhD students through my role, because then that's very much directed to faculty-led engagements. But you can follow up with me afterwards as well if you want me to check into that for our faculty for you. Can you share your email? Yes. I'll just drop my email in the chat box so everyone can check it out. And of course, feel free to email me anytime. I'll try to answer within 24 hours, if not sooner. Do we need to have IELTS result even if we have studied our bachelor in English? No, if you have studied in a post-secondary institution at least one full academic year in English, in secondary school or high school at least 2 years, then you do not need to submit an IELTS score. Application fee is $80 Canadian. And no worries, I did not say that before, so don't worry about it, Yagmar. Yeah, application is online, it's $80. But you know, if you work with me, we can talk about a application waiver. Are there any scholarships for students coming from abroad? Yes, we have international entrance scholarships. We give at least 25 per year at 2,500 per. There's also bursaries available for students who also need a financial need, but you need to have been a registered student to access the bursary funding. So there are scholarships available. Does admission processing done on a first come first served basis? Yes, it is. Depending on, yeah, it's first in first out for applications, and they process the term closest to us as a priority as well. But you have other interest or a particular need where you really require your application to be processed immediately, just contact me and I'll do my best to try to and prioritize it on the list. Do you have an animation department? Unfortunately, we do not, but that would be really cool if we did, because animation is cool. Would you please share contact info about Master? Yep, you can use that my contact info, Manolia, and I can connect you with anyone in particular. Our MBA, you can contact the MBA department at mba@cbu.ca as well. But it's probably best to go through me, because I can really prioritize our inquiries amongst the institution, because as you can imagine, there's thousands and thousands of emails per day. You mentioned about ExxonMobil after graduation in supply chain management program. What are the chances for this company? Supply chain management in the petroleum industry they don't align so much so far with the different internships. A lot of our supply chain management students have done internships at particularly Loblaws, which is a large kind of grocery chain in Canada, as well as one petroleum affiliated industry that is using supply chain is the Irving. ExxonMobil is more training their actual petroleum engineers, but supply chain management is a great choice for future opportunities in career, because the supply chain is constantly evolving in businesses, and it touches every single business, from small community businesses to large international companies. And I think finally from Semra, am I eligible to stay in Canada and work there after completing my degree program? Yes, definitely. We encourage that as a Canadian government. We offer post-graduation work permit of up to 3 years for international students. And in particular, in Nova Scotia, we have probably the best immigration pathways for international students currently in the country, because we are looking to grow our population in our province. And the government has identified international student graduates as the ideal candidates for permanent residency, because of your desire to get a Canadian education and ability, being university graduates, to be productive members of the workforce. And of course, we have 3 international student advisors that all have immigration designations. So while I am not legally qualified to talk about particulars in immigration, we do have 3 staff members that are experts in these fields, and we'll work with you to navigate the best pathways for you to stay in Canada post-graduation. In particular, we want you to stay in Cape Breton, because it just adds to the richness of diversity and culture in our little beautiful island, and the impact that international students have on the economy and the quality of life in Cape Breton is almost incalculable, and it just adds so much just positive flavor to our world here. So I think I've gone through all the questions. I put my email in the chat box. And I think, Zeynep, we've actually hit exactly the time that you've allotted for us to talk today. So I please encourage you to contact me anytime. I'll get back to you or connect you with someone who is more of an expert to deal with your inquiry. But I hope to welcome you to Cape Breton University in the future. And I thank you very much for your time today.
Yes, thank you very much for your great presentation, Victor. We believe it was a really informative webinar for the attendees. And we had a lot of questions. You covered them all. Thank you for your answers too.
Great, my pleasure.
Also, I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Cape Breton University ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için Victor'ın paylaşmış olduğu mail adresinden iletişime geçebilirsiniz. Umarız sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. Aynı zamanda sizi 6'daki webinarımıza da davet etmek isteriz. Thank you very much again, Victor. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in person in Turkey over the next year.
Yeah, us too. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.